Hello, I'm Sheryl, and welcome to Sleep Tight Relax, a cozy bedtime podcast made especially for kids, but perfect for dreamers of all ages. Tonight's story is inspired by an ancient tale from a wise philosopher named Zongzi, who lived in China over 2,000 years ago. In his famous story, Zongzi dreams he is a butterfly, and when he wakes up, he wonders, was he a person dreaming of being a butterfly, or is he now a butterfly dreaming of being a person? It's a gentle puzzle that has made people think and wonder for thousands of years. Our story follows Milo, a curious child who loves to wander around the areas near his home. One peaceful afternoon, lying beneath an old tree, Milo drifts into the most vivid dream imaginable. In this dream, he becomes something light and free, floating through a world of flowers and wonder. Before we begin, let's take a moment to get comfortable and relaxed. Now, let's take 3 slow, deep breaths together. Breathe in slowly through your nose and out gently through your mouth. Feel your body sinking deeper into your bed with each breath. Breathe in and out. One more time. Breathe in and let it all go. Perfect. Close your eyes if you'd like as we begin our story. Dream of the butterfly. There was a quiet field at the edge of town where the grass grew tall and soft, and a single old tree stretched its arms wide into the sky. If you walked past it quickly, you might not think it was special, but Milo knew better. Milo was the kind of child who liked to wonder. He wondered why birds never got lost, how trees knew when to let go of their leaves, and whether dreams could ever spill into real life. Every Saturday, after pancakes and pulling on socks that never quite matched, Milo would wander out to the field with a blanket, a notebook, and a sandwich he never remembered to eat. This particular Saturday, the sky was pale as vanilla ice cream, and the air smelled like clover and wildflowers. Milo lay on his back beneath a tree, arms folded behind his head, watching a single butterfly loop and dip through the breeze. It had wings like stained glass, bits of orange and cream with dots that looked like tiny eyes. Milo smiled. "Imagine being that light," he whispered. "You could go anywhere." A gentle wind brushed across his face. The grass swayed. The butterfly circled lower as if listening. Milo's eyelids fluttered. The tree whispered a gentle, lulling song. Swish, swish, swish. And then, without quite meaning to, Milo closed his eyes and drifted into a dream. Milo was flying. Not in a plane, not in a rocket, just flying. His body felt weightless. His arms had vanished, and in their place were wings, delicate and strong, moving without effort. Each flap sent him higher into the sunlight. He darted forward, then hovered, then spun in lazy circles, like a leaf caught in a breeze. He was a butterfly, and somehow it felt perfectly normal. Milo didn't remember having hands or wearing shoes or even being a child. All he knew was the warm wind under his wings and the way the sky seemed to stretch forever. Flowers tilted their faces up to greet him. The whole world was bursting with color. Bright reds, soft blues, golden yellows that shimmered like honey. Milo dipped down and landed on a daisy, feeling the petals tremble under his tiny feet. He sipped sweetness from the flower's heart. It was like drinking sunlight and sugar at the same time. Much better than ice cream, whatever that was. Other butterflies passed by. Blue ones, striped ones, tiny white ones that sparkled like frost. One paused mid-flight and nodded politely before floating off toward a bush of purple blooms. Milo flitted through garden paths made of moss and dew, over puddles that sparkled in the sun, and through beams of warm sunlight. Every movement was music. Every moment felt full. And never, not once, did Milo think of home, or grass stains, or pancakes. He wasn't a child who had turned into a butterfly. He was a butterfly, a real one, with wings and instincts and no name at all. And oh, what a beautiful thing it was to be. Milo flew through a place that didn't seem to belong to maps. A world made of wind and light and soft green shadows. Time didn't tick here. It hummed. He fluttered past tall sunflowers that bowed politely as he passed through tunnels of ivy and dancing blades of grass. The breeze carried scents of mint and sweet sap. And every now and then, a tiny voice from somewhere deep in a flower would giggle or sigh. There were ladybugs polishing their spots on a dandelion puff. Beetles playing music by rubbing their legs together. A caterpillar wearing a leaf like a cloak, reciting poetry to the wind. Milo was delighted. He circled a patch of wild violets just for fun, then somersaulted through a cobweb that shimmered like silver thread. It clung for a moment to his wing, then vanished into sparkles. Everything here was alive with color and play and wonder. And then he heard a soft, papery voice. "New wings, are they?" Milo turned mid-air. Perched on a tall blade of grass was a large velvety moth with antennae like fern fronds. Its wings were dusky gray and speckled with pale moons. It looked ancient and kind. Milo hovered. "Yes," he said, though he wasn't sure he knew how to speak. "I think so." The moth tilted its head. dream wings often are. It blinked slowly. Did you know some butterflies were once children in another world? Milo's wings paused. I don't remember being anything else. Good, said the moth, smiling. It's best to live the dream while it's yours. Then the moth spread its wings and glided off, becoming part of the dusk beyond the meadow. Milo felt something gentle rise inside him. Not quite joy, not quite sadness. Just wonder, deep and wide as the sky. He floated onward, feeling like the world was full of meaning, if only he could listen closely enough to hear it. As the sun dipped lower, the colors of the dream world softened. The sky turned rose gold, and the air grew cooler, tinged with the scent of moss and rain. Milo fluttered above a still pond that reflected everything so perfectly, it was hard to tell which way was up. He hovered there, watching the surface ripple as a frog leapt into the water with a plop. Fireflies blinked to life, one by one, like stars remembering where they belonged. Everything was peaceful. And yet, something strange stirred inside him. A feeling, a pulling, like a thread tugging gently at a button, asking, "Do you remember me?" Milo blinked. He looked down at the pond again, and this time, the reflection didn't show a butterfly. It showed a child, asleep beneath a tree. Eyes closed, hair ruffled by the wind, arms tucked beneath his head just so. Milo gasped. The wings on his back twitched. Is that me? He darted backward, heart fluttering faster than his wings. But the reflection stayed. He tried to look away, tried to shake off the feeling, but now the petals seemed quieter, the breeze more serious. The colors, once bursting with joy, looked a little faded. The world hadn't changed. But something inside Milo had. What if I'm not really a butterfly? He whispered. What if I'm just dreaming? The air didn't answer. A soft drizzle began to fall, dotting his wings with silver. And then, like a sigh at the end of a lullaby, the dream began to dissolve. The garden blurred, the colors melted into light, and everything faded, like the last note of a song you didn't want to end. Milo opened his eyes. The world was quiet. The storm was gone. So was the garden. So were the wings. He was lying beneath the old tree in the field, just as before, with sunlight filtering through the leaves in sleepy patches. A butterfly drifted past on the breeze, just one, and didn't stop. Milo sat up slowly. His fingers felt tingly. His arms felt heavy, like he had just returned from someplace far, far away. He touched his face, his knees, and his shoes, just to make sure they were real. The notebook was still there, the uneaten sandwich too. Nothing had changed. And yet, Everything had. The grass brushed against his legs like it knew something. The sky looked too big for just one word. Deep in his chest, Milo could still feel the memory of wings, of what it felt like to ride the wind and drink from flowers and forget everything else but joy. He lay back down and stared up at the clouds again. "Maybe I was just dreaming," he whispered to the wind. "Or maybe I'm still dreaming now." A bee buzzed past, a bird sang high in the tree. Everything continued the way it always did. But Milo watched it all with new eyes, like they were still part butterfly, even if no one else could see. Milo walked home slowly, his sneakers brushing through the clover along the edge of the field. The sky was stretching toward evening now, painting the clouds with soft lavender and gold. He didn't rush. He didn't speak. He just wondered. Each step felt like it might lift him into the air. Each breath held a memory he couldn't quite put into words. At the edge of the field, Milo stopped and looked back at the old tree, its branches swaying gently in the breeze. "Was it me dreaming of wings?" he said aloud, "or wings dreaming of me?" The tree didn't answer. But a single petal blew past on the wind, twirling like a dancer, and Milo smiled. "Maybe dreams are real in their own way," he whispered, "and maybe I'll fly again tonight." Then he skipped the rest of the way home, light as a breeze, quiet as a question. And high above the rooftops, just for a moment, something small and orange fluttered through the twilight. And that's the end of our story. If you're still awake, take a moment to think about Milo's beautiful dream. Sometimes the most wonderful experiences happen when we let our minds wander and imagine what it might be like to be something completely different. A butterfly dancing through flowers, a bird soaring through clouds, or even a fish swimming through an ocean of stars. Dreams have their own special kind of truth. Even when we wake up, the feelings of joy, freedom, and wonder can stay with us, making the regular world feel just a little more magical. As you drift off to sleep tonight, you might find yourself wondering, just like Milo did, are you a person who dreams of flying? Or are you something that flies, now dreaming of being tucked safely in bed? Maybe both answers can be true at the same time. Let yourself float into your own dreams now, light as a butterfly's wing, gentle as a summer breeze. Whisper to yourself, "I am curious about the world around me." My imagination can take me to wonderful places. Dreams and reality can both be beautiful in their own way. I am calm, relaxed, and peaceful. Good night. Sleep tight.